The DeWalt Cup Series continues on towards the chase with just 2 races remaining until the cutoff. Tonight's Kroger night race at the Bristol Motor Speedway will be a big test in each driver's quest to qualify for the postseason. It's an unpredictable half-mile racetrack with chaos looming around every corner, no matter the position you're in. It's time for Sunday night short track racing on JRTV from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Welcome everyone to the 23rd DeWalt Cup Series race of the 2025 season. I'm Joe Rutkowski, joined alongside the booth by Trey Bardo and Vision Motorsports team owner Matthew Huber, back for a second race this season. Great to have you guys in the booth with us for some Sunday night short track racing late in the regular season. Matthew, you have 2 drivers locked in. Bryce Egan on points. Matt Tuck, we know, is locked in because of his All-Star victory, and he's trying to gain more points to get some more chase points when we get to that point. So you guys are just focusing on Max Davis, who is currently in the top 10 by a pretty decent margin. So what are you focusing on? Bryce Egan going for that regular season title, Matt Tuck trying to get some more points towards the chase, or Max Davis trying to lock his way in here tonight?
I'm not entirely sure right now. I'm kind of torn in between all 3, basically. Davis has a pretty good cushion over 10th place right now, which is over 30 points, but Bristol is an unpredictable track, so who knows what will happen here. As for Egan and Tuck, they are starting on the outside lane, which isn't really too good, being Bristol and all. I hope they can go down to the bottom lane as soon as they can. They should have a good race overall.
Well, Trey, Matthew said it. Bristol's unpredictable. It can be crazy at times, and then starting on the top side could be a detriment. And one of those drivers that's actually starting on top that comes in with a decent buffer, Keegan Thompson. He comes in 30 points above, tied for 9th in the point standings with Drew Martinelli. But he starts on the outside trays at 14th. You may think, oh, 14th, that's not that bad. He can find a way down in line. But Trey, if he never finds a way down in line and people keep filling the hole to his inside, getting to the bottom, and he can't, there is a realistic shot that someone like Keegan Thompson or someone else that starts up top could drop all the way to the back of the field, and then it's a hard track to pass at. You've lost your track position, and the leaders are coming around to lap you in like 5-10 laps.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is definitely one of the tracks where at the start of this race is going to be the most aggressive. We see these drivers all race because, like you mentioned, they want to get down to that inside as quickly as they can, and we're going to have a lot of stuff to have to watch here, and I won't be surprised to see some bumpers get used, as well as just some straight-up tomfoolery going on, is what I want to say, within the first couple of laps until these drivers, really get settled in here, and then they can start pacing away.
Yeah, and then they pace away for a little bit until we get to lap traffic, and then the leaders have to shuffle through guys that are battling for position and trying to keep their laps, and then trying to get their laps back if they're fast enough to do that, because there could be some fast cars that just get mired back due to track positioning at the start of this race. So it's going to be fascinating to watch how that plays out. Heading into this race, just 2 races left in the regular season, the points have widened out. The last few races have really helped the drivers inside the top 10 in points, and for the top 4 in points, they are locked into the chase. Brian Rodriguez, the points leader, has the pole for tonight's race, so he added to his points lead by getting those 3 bonus points for winning the pole here tonight. Bryce Egan comes in second in points, trying to chase him down. That's a driver who midway through the season was kind of looking like 5th, 6th best on the season, but lately he has rocketed up, and he hasn't won lately, but he's been very, very consistent, Bryce Egan has, and trying to close in on Rodriguez for that regular season title. They start 1st and 2nd here tonight. Rodriguez will have the benefit, though, the inside at the start. Laura Chung comes in 3rd in points. She starts 4th here tonight, and Nathan Stapleton comes in 4th, and he starts 3rd here tonight. So the top 4 in points are the top 4 starters on the racetrack. Behind them, drivers that are safe but not yet quite locked in. They could be locked in after tonight's race. Jerry Chen starts in 10th. He comes in a good distance above. If he leaves more than 50 points above the cut line, he is into the postseason 1 race early. Same could be said for Riley Spiritu, 6th in points. Max Davis, 7th in points. Matt Tuck, 8th in points. And as we mentioned, Keegan Thompson, Drew Martinelli are tied 9th and 10th. They are about 30 points above the cut line, so they're in a pretty decent spot there as well. As mentioned for Keegan, though, starts on the outside in 14th. Martinelli starts inside in 5th. Could be good for him if he can keep that track position. Matt Tuck starts up inside the top 10 in 6th. Max Davis starts in 9th on the inside, crucially. Riley Spurgeon in 13th, also crucially on the inside. Then you look at the wild card battle, and it is very close. Chris Jericho currently has the first wild card. He has those 2 victories, and he's nearly guaranteed a spot in the chase, especially if we don't get another new winner here tonight, or another second-time winner here tonight that's outside the top 10 in points. But the battle for the second wildcard spot could come down to Jack Haas and Gabe Willard. They're a good distance behind the top 10 in points, 30 points behind, and they only enter 2 points separating. Haas has it currently over Gabe Willard, and they both start a little bit further back, but they're both on the inside lane to start. Jack Haas in 23rd, Gabe Willard back in 31st. So they're 2 points apart. They could be running near each other all night long. We'll see how that plays out, and who leaves tonight's race in that wildcard spot, and we'll see if it changes, if Jack Haas can grow his advantage, or if that advantage somehow shrinks and we go in nearly tied into the final race of the regular season for that second wildcard spot. With all that out of the way, let's go to the picks to win here tonight at the Kroger night race at Bristol. Last time out, Trey beat me, so I'll get to go first in terms of our little battle, but we'll let the guests go first. So Matthew, here tonight at Bristol, it could be a chaotic race, could be a track position dependent race. Who are you taking to win here tonight in the Kroger night race at Bristol?
It'd be a race where an underdog team upsets the big 3, and the perfect guy to do that starts 5th today in car number 94. I'm going with Jude Martinelli.
That's a very good pick. We know last time out at Nazareth finished runner-up to race winner Nathan Stapleton, so he has the speed in that Fos Autosport car, and Jude Martinelli with the qualifying position, the starting position. If things go his way, tonight could definitely be his night to try and, as you mentioned, upset the big 3 teams who have dominated this season. I'm going to go for my pick, the guy who won last time out, going for his 5th win on the season. Nathan Stapleton starts in 3rd. I think the 75 team goes back-to-back, and they're going to get it done for Otter Island Motorsports, get yet another victory this season, and they'll try and continue their quest to climb back up towards Vision Motorsports for the Owners Championship standing lead. So Trey, we have our picks. Who are you taking to win here tonight at Bristol?
Well, you guys went 3rd on the bottom, 2nd on the bottom. I might as well take 1st on the bottom. That Polestar to the 62 of Brian Rodriguez. It's been strong all season, only getting stronger, and I think tonight's the night he's going to take home that nighttime race Bristol trophy, and yet again get me 2 wins in a row in our battle, Joe.
And he won at a short track earlier this season, Vancouver. In fact, that was his last victory, so he's looking for his 3rd win of the season, trying to extend that points lead. So we've picked the bottom 3 drivers on the bottom lane, so we'll see how it plays out and which of those 3 finishes higher here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's get these guys rolling off of pit road here and get the Kroger night race at the Bristol Motor Speedway underway. There they roll off the 42 cars. We pull up the DeWalt track facts for tonight's race. It's a 100-lap race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, but no pit stops are required. You don't want to be doing some green flag pit stops around this weird pit road, so we'll get that out of the way, not have the game cause any issues. And variable banking through the corners and down the straights, so we'll see if that plays into it, but obviously expected for the bottom lane to be absolutely dominant here tonight. Since there's no pit stops, there's very little tire fall off, so we'll be looking at nearly the same speeds throughout the entire night. Here we go, the 23rd race of the DeWalt Cup Series season. The green flag is waving over the Bristol Motor Speedway. Well, Matthews, a nice jump for the bottom lane. Rodriguez gets clear in the lead. Nathan Stapleton clear in 2nd. Battles on for 3rd. Jude Martinelli is going to take it away from Bryce Egan on the outside. Chris Jericho and Max Davis coming on the inside as well as up front for the lead. Stapleton pressures Rodriguez. Not close enough, though, to make a move for the lead. Have to stay behind. This is a hard track to pass out. Everyone running very identical speeds. Very hard to get anywhere unless there's traffic involved.
Yeah, and then considering the fact Stapleton must be on anger mode right now with the way he's been driving the last few races out of that 75 car. He still has a good chance to take the regular points series championship, but he'll need to hope for something to happen to his fellow competitors.
Oh, we had a crash. Levi Shones from the back of the field has crashed in turn 3. No caution flag. He was at the back of the field. Alex Sanvitale also involved, has rear end damage. Maybe Ryan Wilson as well, and Angel Gutierrez. So there was a multi-car crash, Trey. No caution, but big for Levi Shones, one of those drivers that has a win outside the top 10 in points and could have maybe tried to win another race, get his way up to try and get a second wildcard spot. But for Levi Shones, he's in trouble here tonight. He started poorly outside the top 30, and now he's well torn up back in 42nd and getting lapped on lap number 7 here at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
All right, well, 2 things. One, what a NASCAR thing to do. I mean, that is a destroyed race car. We're good. We're good. That is a destroyed race car. Oh, and he hit the wall. Okay, again, that is a destroyed race car. And no I mean, look at the tire marks, Joe. They killed that outside wall. And then 2, we hit lap traffic a little earlier than I think we were all expecting. But so far, these guys are getting around it perfectly fine. And wow, that's something. I was not expecting to have a wreck this early on and no yellow to come out.
Yep. Have that on the obviously the side by side, the split screen, so everyone can see what occurred at the back of the field between those few drivers that were back there and got involved in the crash. So let's reset the running order. Stapleton is hunting down Rodriguez here. He is all over the bumper, trying to force him into a mistake. He made a mistake right there, got a little loose maybe on corner exit, had to lift, didn't get the power down. So it's Rodriguez leading from pole, Stapleton in second, Martinelli in third. He has his hands full with Chris Jericho in the 54. Max Davis up to fifth. He's not yet won this season. It would be the last Vision driver to win if he could get it done here tonight. Then Bryce Egan there in 6th. He got down in line inside the top 10. William Seaman up in 7th for Mean Motorsports. Riley Spurley up to 8th from his 13th place starting spot. Joshua Cox for Ace Motorsports, looking for that first top 10 on the season, is in 9th. And Eli Bright for Mean Motorsports rounds out the top 10. Anthony Nance for Atlanta Motorsports trying to get good points tonight in 11th. Crown Junior 12th. Jack Haas up to 13th from his starting spot, but just a few spots behind him, a few points behind him is Gabe Willard in the 27th. So they are close together and not getting away from each other as these race leaders are catching up to lap traffic. Thought Stapleton maybe had a shot for the lead. Rodriguez keeps it. They're now catching up to Alex Sanvitale. The damage in that 09 car, rear damage as the leaders lap to the inside.
And the 09 moving up to the top lane before Stapleton even had a chance to use him as a pick to get by Brian Rodriguez. It's a difficult track to pass at, especially this version of Bristol. And he's still looking. Don't turn him like what happened multiple times during the season. But still, 62 car won a short track in the past here at Vancouver. And he's gonna run right there. And here comes Nathan Stapleton looking for his 5th win on the season.
And how about that? He made that pass unassisted of lap traffic. Back there, the lap car, the 09 hit the wall as Sanvitale was getting lapped. But unassisted of lap traffic, Nathan Stapleton makes a pass on Brian Rodriguez. That just shows the speed of that 75 car, not having to use a car as a pick. He gets around Rodriguez on pure speed. Now he's going to try and pull away, but there's lap cars up the road like Ryan Wilson for him to try and cope with now. And we'll see how Stapleton can do that. So he's getting a gap. Jericho behind got caught in behind Alex Sanvitale. That allowed Max Davis to get to 4th and Bryce Egan to get to 5th. Davis wants 3rd from Drew Martinelli. Those two good friends. We'll see how they race each other here for 3rd position on the racetrack. Bryce Egan trying to get some spots back that he lost at the start from starting in 2nd. Sprogatu trying to get to William Seaman. There's Sanvitale. There's Cox and Eli Bright. Let's go a little bit further back. Tyler Belladonna having a good run for Fitzwater Australia Racing. And Gabe Willard's dropping back. That driver needs to stay close to Jack Haas for that wildcard spot. On the outside, falling back. Meanwhile, Laura Chung fell back at the start. She's gotten a few spots back, but she's back to 17th place. That's what starting in the 4th position outside lane will do to you there. Same with Matt Tuck, who started 6th. He gets a spot from Gabe Willard to move to 19th. And Philip Torres in between them and the 77. Cam Wright Jr. back here just outside the top 20. Keegan Thompson did a great job minimizing the loss of his starting spot. Remember, he started 14th, only lost 8 spots to 22nd. So minimizing the loss, now trying to keep that car clean and surviving for the rest of the race. DeLello back here outside the top 20. Just scroll back through. Lathan Strickland started poorly, currently running not all that well. And further back, Matthew Burnett having a struggling night. Zidell started on the outside. He couldn't find a way down in line. in a fast manner. He's all the way back to 36th, getting by Robert Asher right there. And then we go back to the leaders, because Nathan Stapleton is in a mess of lap cars. Tegan Fox, Tim Gary around him, and that's allowing Trey Brian Rodriguez back to his back bumper. So this traffic, if you don't get by it in a timely manner, this is what could happen.
Yeah, you had a good handful of laps and calmness, and now you're within the bee's nest, Joe. This is what's really going to make the winner of tonight really earn their way to victory lane, right? Is trying to figure out this lap traffic and finding the right timing and spacing to get around them. As you can see, Stapleton's really struggling to get past the 59 right now. Might be looking to the inside, but can't quite get there as the 62. Looks like he's trying to dime in the corner almost to get a run on one of the straights, but just can't seem to put it together right now.
Now, I will say, even though you can see Stapleton struggling at this point, this is the easiest the lap traffic gets. You're around OSC racing cars, cars that haven't been all that great this season, unfortunately. They haven't had the best of speed. And when you're around these guys, you can expect to maybe get by them easier. Once you get up to guys like Zidell and, further up in the field, if you can get that far, those are the cars that they're going to be battling it pretty hard because they know they're fast enough to maybe contend for race wins and stuff like that. As Max Davis trying to get some spots back, get back to 5th. He was up there behind Martinelli in 4th, lost that spot to both Bryce Egan and Jericho. Now he gets a spot back from Jericho as Martinelli is lapping by Ryan Wilson, and Bryce Egan coming with him along with Max Davis, and then Jericho trying to do the same. William Seaman fending off Sprue, in fact pulling away a little bit, and now trying to catch up to this battle for position inside the top 5. As at the front, Rodriguez is not letting Stapleton get away, and he's saying, hey, listen, you got to get by Tegan Fox now. If not, I'll try and get by you myself to the bumper, but no closer. Rodriguez plays nice for now because we're only on lap 33. If that was 93, maybe there would be some contact, Matthew.
Yeah, and it's got to be really crucial to get by some of these lap cars. Man, Davis running wide again. And Brian Wilson into the outside wall. Jericho gets back into the top 5. Bryce Egan now up to 3rd. And I want to point out Chris Jericho, it's a shame he's 39 points back from 10th, because if he didn't have that bad luck he had, especially in the first half of the season, chances are he would be top 5 in points right now.
Yeah, exactly that. Matt Tuck's been able to really recover well. He had a poor start to the season as well. Matt Tuck has recovered inside the top 10. Jericho's bad luck just continued further into the season than Matt Tuck's. And where Matt Tuck is right now, you can think Chris Jericho could be up there as well. As you mentioned, Jericho's had a great season up to this point and continues to get better, currently running inside the top 5. And even though he is over 30 points back of the top 10, with Keegan Thompson currently back around 20th place and 22nd, he's the one that's currently tied for 9th and 10th on that bubble. Jericho's up here running inside the top 5. If things continue to change like they are and Jericho continues to run well, Keegan Thompson stays back there, Thompson could be put in a dangerous position by his own teammate in terms of trying to be inside the top 10 in points. As Giacomo gets the wall to the outside of the leaders, Stapleton and Rodriguez get by. Egan's up to 3rd, Jericho 4th, Davis 5th, Seaman now 6th, Burtube 7th, Martinelli all the way back to 8th after getting put on the outside lane, but he does get down in line. Those top 8 have pulled a nice gap over 9th place Joshua Cox, 10th place Eli Bright, as these 3 get by Bruno Giacomo. And Stapleton's doing a great job now getting by all his lap traffic. There goes Ludovic Charette to get put a lap down. Mathis Wells is next on the list for Nathan Stapleton. So he got by those OSC cars, and now he's starting to pick them up and put them down, Trey. He's trying to get away from Rodriguez and the rest that are coming behind.
Well, the nice thing for Rodriguez, right, is that Stapleton's doing all the hard work, punching a hole through these lap cars, and the 62 just has to fill in that hole, essentially, right? So, I mean, the 62 is getting a nice free ride as Stapleton's really trying to work himself here. Right here, he's going to get down to the bottom, but no. Oh, he's going to get on the apron. That might allow the 62 to get to the top, but you're not going to be able to make a pass there, Joe. That was a very close call, but yet again, I mean, Stapleton's just putting in all the work here, and the 62 is just tagging along, essentially.
What was it? Whoa, look out. Ludovic Charette moved Mathis Wells. That is for position, so Charette does have the right to do that, I guess. But what was it we said at Nazareth at the end, Trey, where Stapleton was doing everything possible to not win that race and he had it in hand? Well, here tonight, passing a lap car in the apron is maybe one of those ways where, hey, you're winning this race. Just calm down, man. But obviously you can't be calm. When,
he's on the apron again. What is he doing?
Well, I think the 19 has been pounding the wall, and they're catching Levi Shones again. So, I mean, there's just stuff happening everywhere up here. And that put Rodriguez to the top side. Egan's through to second. And here comes Jericho for third. And there's a line of cars to the inside. Brian Rodriguez, the pole sitter.
Oh my god. With the way the 75 reacted there the last lap, it almost looked like there was a caution, but no, that 96 is really slow now, which is a shame for Levi Jones. Was up there, hoping to try and get enough points to make it into the wild card, but not enough there. That's going to allow Bryce Egan and Chris Jericho to catch up to the 75. He's stuck behind Latham Strickland now in that 91. It's going to be a bit of a tougher car to pass than the likes of the OSC cars.
Oh, that was 3 wide at Bristol. Rodriguez got stuck so far behind these guys that he fell all the way back to 8th. Remember, he was up towards the front as Bryce Egan got passed. Egan gets passed by Chris Jericho, who's now up to 2nd. Davis through to 3rd. Nathan Stapleton still leads this race, and through all the chaos, who stuck his way up inside the top 5? But Riley Thrillinger for EKH Enterprises, a team that's not yet won this season. One of those teams that's trying to break up the top 3 at the front. Egan sends it in deep on teammate Max Davis. He'll send him up the racetrack. He'll go for the lead himself, or he'll go for 3rd himself. Chris Jericho's going for the lead. Stapleton runs wide. Here comes the 54. The Toussaint car now leads at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Egan coming through for 2nd.
Well, Joe, oh, easy. Stapleton's not getting happy right now, which is understandable because he's getting stuck in lap traffic. You better get down right here, Joe, without turning the night.
Oh, he's going to turn him!
Oh, no! Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Oh,
crown!
Oh,
no, we're still stacking them.
And, oh my god, both Haas and Lord got caught up in it. Crown Jr. destroyed. And caution's out.
Haas and Gabe Willard got contact. I think they got away fine, fortunately. Maybe one not happy with the other. The damage is slight, but at a track like Bristol, that's not all that bad. But those are 2 drivers fighting for the wild card. But, oh my gosh, guys, Nathan Stapleton just dumped Angel Gutierrez.
I couldn't have timed that sentence better than I just did right there.
He's getting frustrated, and he's dumping it.
Oh my goodness! What did we just witness?
Bristol chaos, and now that's basically a midway break. They get to take a breather here for a few laps, and now we'll get back going. How about through all that, Laura Chung gained some spots. It looks like 9. She's up to 8th, so
she probably just nailed the throttle and hoped for the best.
Yeah, she saw a hole through it, and she went through it. So caution flag is out here at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the first time of the night. It's not the first accident of the night, though, but the first one that brings out the yellow flag. So go check out what happened. Chris Jericho, the leader, under the first caution.
So Nathan Stapleton in the 75, being a bit aggressive after what happened at Watkins Glen, and unfortunately putting that frustration on poor Angel Gutierrez, his miserable season continuing hard into the outside wall, blows his engine there, and you would think he would slide down relatively fine, but then he comes back up to the apron, almost gets wiped out by Giacomo and Tim Gary. Luckily, that didn't cause a bigger wreck. Crown Jr. runs right into the 19, and just nowhere for all of these guys to go. Gabe Lord, Jack Haas, Joshua Cox, Philip Torres, and another hit there for Talo Belladonna right at the end. Keegan Thompson made it through relatively unscathed, which is amazing considering the position he was in. But it was bound to happen. 55 laps in. We'll see what happened at the full-time replay.
Well, I called it live, and I pretty much said, Stapleton, don't turn him. Stapleton turned him, and luckily the 19 held the brakes pretty well, but unfortunately not well enough for the 22. Absolutely T-bone stake him right in the door, and then everyone else decides to play bumper cars as well. But for the most part, we got through it relatively well. So good job on everyone else, but yeah, that probably turned Stapleton from the fan favorite to the fan not so favorite.
Yeah, and he's still up there with a chance to win it, so we'll see if he's that aggressive with his fellow lead lap competitors, and he'll try and get to victory lane from that fourth place restart position. Well, it's Chris Jericho, who was on a tear lately at Martinsville, and then before that at Michigan. He's won 2 straight races lately, and trying to win now a 3rd race before we get to the chase and maybe find a way inside the top 10 in points if things go his way. So Chris Jericho with the lead under the first caution here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Back here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, ready for the restart. Chris Jericho with the lead out of this race. Angel Gutierrez and Crown Jr. There are 28 cars on the lead lap. The leaders, or at least the top 4, don't have to deal with traffic for the moment. Jericho, Egan, Davis, Stapleton are clear of traffic. Sprague Tubon back will need to get by. Green flag back in the air at Bristol. Jericho gets a nice jump, gets away from Bryce Egan. May have spun the tires a little bit from second place, but now Jericho has to fend off 2 Vision Motorsports cars, and then Nathan Stapleton, who as mentioned just dumped Angel Gutierrez to bring out the first caution of the night. 41 laps to go at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh boy. Who knows what this race is going to entail now. Martinelli's already getting shoved way right, and that's not going to be good. He has a 30-point cushion going into this race at Bristol. And Haas and Willard, not sure how much damage those two have. Well, probably not enough if they still have their hoods intact. But still, getting shoved on the outside lane at Bristol is going to be a nightmare to get back down.
Brian Rodriguez, the pole sitter, continues to bleed spots. Got put high on this restart, just like Jude Martinelli. He's back outside the top 10. He'll be outside the top 15 by the time he finds his way down line. In fact, his teammate Keegan Thompson, who started back in 14th, fell back to 22nd. He's now going to pass him on the inside lane. So they come together, not the way Rodriguez wanted it to, though. He would have wanted Thompson to be passing guys and gotten up to the top 5, top 3 positions. But instead, it's Rodriguez back to 17th when he finally gets down in line. Martinelli, now Eli Bright's up top. He'll lose 9th. He'll lose 10th to Tuck and Jerry Chen. As they run between Gabe Willard and Jack Haas, it would be 1 point between them. Still Haas in favor because Willard's only 1 point in front, or 1 position in front of Jack Haas. But if they were to finish like this, we would go into the final race of the regular season at Dover even closer than we entered here at Bristol. As Martinelli gets back in line in 7th. He'll try and get some spots back now. William Seaman will be next on the list. And Trey, what a run for your driver, William Seaman, up here inside the top 10 all night long on pure pace.
Yeah, he has absolutely shown up tonight. He started, 11th, right? And made his way inside the top 10 and hasn't looked back since. And he is really proven to himself that he does have a fast car, and that's what he needs is a confidence right now. Same thing for Eli Bright. He was doing well. Then he decided to see what the top side was like, Joe, and fortunately for him, that's how you go backwards. But right now, I can tell you one thing. Chris Jericho likes what he sees out front, but not so much what he sees behind.
I'm getting deja vu of the midseason tournament. Jericho versus Egan here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. That's all said and done, that tournament is. But these two still want victories. And for Egan, it's been a long time since he's gone to victory lane. All the way back in Richmond earlier this season, that was another short track. In fact, both these drivers have short track wins under their belt this season. Egan, as mentioned, at Richmond. Jericho won just a few races ago at Martinsville, the other half-mile racetrack. So these two no strangers to success on the short tracks. We'll see how it plays out between them. Jericho still leads over Egan. These front 4 have gotten a huge gap because they're clear of traffic. Riley Springfield's finally getting by some, but he's a good ways back. Over 4 seconds back. He would need them to catch traffic and not be able to get by, and he can really close up. Gabe Willard's starting to get away from Jack Haas as we have Alex Vitale on pit road. Jack Haas got put up high. Gabe Willard's getting away from him, and as they would stand now, Jack Haas would be out of that wildcard spot, Matthew. So things are changing here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and Gabe Willard, for the better. They're 3 wide in front. Eli Bright's putting the Ace Motorsports cars up top.
Wow, and Jerry Chen also got forced back as well. Luckily for Chen, he is in a safe spot, but Jack Haas is not. He is 12th in the points going into this race. Or is he 11th or 12th?
He's 11th.
Either way, 11th in points. Now he's dropped down to 12th with the 27 car now inside the top 10. But that could change if...
Baby!
Oh boy, that was close.
Well, Trey, what's your driver doing there? Matthew Burnett not happy with Tim Gary. Tim is a lap down, and Burnett is on the lead lap. So I think maybe there's some disagreement over that position right there, and Burnett's actually going to get the worst of it. If Gary got down in line, Burnett's falling back.
Tried his best Stapleton impression is what he did, Joe. What are we doing here?
The 09 came out of pit road right into the path of Burnett and the Dovick Charette. This is just that Bristol chaos. You never know what's going to happen around here. And the leaders don't know what's going to happen because they're catching up to them. And we're oh, Alex Amatoli!
Oh, no!
Ooh.
We're good. We're fine. We're all right.
He was trying to get to pit road and spun, and the caution flag is out. Wow.
A lot happened there.
Well, you know what?
All right, Joe, take it away.
That was you know what? That was probably fair to be a quick trigger on a caution there, because the leaders were coming right up to it. Oh, slow it down.
Spurley 2, slow it down.
Oh my God.
They're all fine.
We're fine.
Oh, except
we're fine.
Rodriguez might not be fine.
Oh. All right, we're good.
You would think they would have good brakes for being short track cars, but I guess not.
You would think the spotters would do their job and tell them where they're stacking it up.
I guess they didn't think that was worthy for a caution.
Where
but
is the pace car? Oh.
Pace cars holding
with
guys
what
up.
happened,
Yeah. Someone tell the
with
pace car
what
to get out of
happened
the
a
way.
couple laps ago, I wouldn't be surprised that the race official did make that a caution.
There we go. Robert Ashford was very nervous around that pace car.
Thank you.
And they're all
Oh, look, they're going to hit the pace car. They're going to hit the pace car. We're good.
And
just a slight graze.
Oh. All right, are we all settled out now?
We're all settled out. Everyone's back into position. We'll go check out what happened to bring out the second caution of the night. Alex Vitale possibly trying to get to pit road. Spins on the apron, and the leaders just barely are able to avoid him.
now, I'm not sure what exactly happened to this 09 to make him come down pit road multiple times in a row, but almost wiped out the Lears there.
Clearly what it was. He was doing his best Tokyo and drift impression and doesn't know how to do it.
Could be.
It's what it is. There's no other excuse.
He didn't even take tires or anything.
No. Yeah.
You don't need tires.
He just came in, stopped, and went out. Maybe he had a penalty for merging or something. I don't know. It could have been something weird, but luckily for these top four, Jericho, Egan, Stapleton, and Davis, they were able to get by unharmed, and they're going to have a late race restart to deal with. They should be out of lap traffic now, unless obviously cars pit and come out in front of them, but otherwise we should be clean to go to the end. Can Jericho go for his third win on the season and maybe find a way to get his way inside the top 10 in points? We'll find out over the course of the final few laps right here on JRTV. Coming back to the green flag here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Caution flag has been cleaned up. Not really much to clean up, just the 09 spinning around, and we're back in it. So Alex Vitale is 11 laps down. Levi Schoen's now 4 laps down. Torres 3 laps down from their damages. 27 cars on the lead lap, led by Chris Jericho in the 54. It'll be 17 laps to go. He shouldn't have to worry about lap traffic. Is that good enough for him to just hold off Bryce Egan like he has all night long? We're going to find out. Green flag back in the air. Good jump for the front two. Not so good for Nathan Stapleton in third. So Egan and Jericho get a little bit of a gap. We'll see what they do with it. Egan closes into Jericho up the backstretch, coming back around to 16 laps to go here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. He knows time is running out. He knows he might have to get aggressive with the 54 because lap traffic might not come into play for the rest of this race.
And if it does, it will probably come in the last few laps of the race here. Egan really looking to try and make his move as soon as he can, because in 5 minutes time there might not be an advantage to go through. Same with Max Davis, but I'm not sure how much luck. I think a car that
Oh my goodness.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
God.
fine.
You might need to park the 09.
Someone tell NASCAR what to do.
Well, 13 laps to go. Front four closed in, and you know what? There's only one car between them and fifth place Riley Fruit. If it's Drew Webb's coming out of pit road, and we'll make it 2 cars between those top 4 and the 28. That's going to actually really hurt Riley there. He's probably not too happy. Sam Vitale going through his pit road stuff, and Up at the front, 13, now 12 laps to go. Egan is pressuring on Chris Jericho for the lead. He needs the 54 to somehow slip up. Caution is back out. Joshua Cox and Chris Keselowski have crashed. And Egan was to the inside of Jericho, but the caution was out, so he couldn't make the pass.
Oh. I knew lap first was going to be an issue, but they just didn't happen in front of them.
Well, Trey, it's the end of a Bristol race.
Well, we're going to have a shootout, Joe.
Yes, we are. How about Laura Chung? She's worked her way back up to 6th through all this chaos. Martinelli's still inside the top 10. Matt Tuck's back up. Gabe Willard's still gaining spots. Rodriguez back up to the
William
top 10.
Seaman?
Jack Haas is struggling, though, back in 19th. So Gabe Willard's gained a lot of points on him. 10 points as they run. It would be an 8-point gap between them. But this race is still not over. So caution flag out again. Joshua Cox and Chris Keselowski go for a slide in turns 1 and 2 to bring this one out.
Like you said, 3 wide at Bristol is a bit treacherous there. Joshua Cox almost moves to 6 out of the way there. And what happened there was Chris Keselowski hit the start of the safer barrier and bounced up into the 99. William Seaman was already stuck on the outside lane and had basically nowhere to go, ending what was a pretty solid day for the 00 team. Was in the top 10, but not anymore.
Well, lap 88, you would think drivers know where the safer barrier kind of juts out at, but not this time around. And unfortunately, it collects a couple cars in this, the 99, 57, and the 00. But they were all able to continue. And you see these guys here pretty much open fist punching each other to figure out who's where. And I think they got it all figured out, luckily. But yeah, that was something, and this is going to set us up for what, just under 10 laps to go, give or take.
It's going to be close,
roughly,
close to 5 to go here. When we get
so I was right in a way.
So we'll see how it goes at Bristol. Can Jericho hold on? Can Egan find a way to push past in the final laps here at the Bristol Motor Speedway? Coming back green for what's going to be the final time here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Can Jericho hold off Egan's challenge, or does the 18 have something up his sleeve for what this final restart will entail? The 96 and the 09 were parked by NASCAR, so they are out of the race. And now we have 6 laps to finish it. Jericho, Egan, Stapleton, Davis are in front of the lap cars. Then Spurley-Tube in 5th, Laura Chung in 6th. And Jericho gets the jump he needs at the green flag. He pulls away by multiple car lengths, 6 to go. And Egan might have to fend off Nathan Stapleton for a second up the back straightaway. That's just what Jericho needed for this final restart of the night.
Wow. I think the 18 had a bit too much wheel spin there. And not sure how much time Davis has to get by Stapleton for 3rd, but a masterful drive there for Chris Jericho in the 54. A well-deserved 3rd win on the season, and that's only his 3rd win. Also, shout there to our guys in the back of the field. Spurley-Tube up to 5th. That should secure his spot into the chase field. And Eli Bright's just got into the top 10, Trey. So there's something to cheer about.
Bryce Egan's not thinking this race is over yet with 2 to go. He thinks he can pass him without any lap car interference. He's looking low into turns 3 and 4. Jericho gives him half a lane. Egan's going to take this right to the white flag. He's going to look low to the inside. Bryce Egan looking for the lead. Jericho blocks him off. There's one final shot into turns 3 and 4. Jericho gets a nice 1 and 2, pulls away by half a car length, and through the final corners, he fends off the challenge. Jericho wins at Bristol.
Wow, what a race.
Oh, and Gabe Willard, through all that, he fell back to Jack Haas at the checkered flag. Those two battling for that wild card spot, but how about this man, Chris Jericho? Trey has now 3rd victory on the season, and they've all come within the past month or so.
Yeah, he seemed to have flipped a switch for some reason and decided to become a race-winning car all of a sudden. But hey, Joe, it's never too late. Well, it can't be too late, but it's not too late for him.
No, it's actually right on time. If you want to peak at a time, getting right into the chase would be the time to do it, right? But man, what a race we saw. I didn't think that Bryce Egan had enough once he kind of messed up that restart, but he came and he tried on that last lap. He looked to the inside, tried to catch Jericho sleeping. The 54, though, blocked it off nicely. Jericho did what he needed to do, and he wins by just a few car lengths over that number 18. In fact, maybe just one singular car length over that number 18. So things got interesting there at the end, and it came down to the two finalists in that mid-season tournament, and this time Jericho gets the best of Bryce Egan at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Only 3 caution flags, so they went pretty clean to start. Then we got those 3 quick cautions, but ended it with a nice note right there, and things shook up through the running order throughout this race, and we'll go check out the finishing results and see how everything's been affected heading into the final race of the regular season. And here are the results from the Bristol night race. Chris Jericho on top over Bryce Egan at the checkered flag. Nathan Stapleton a nice points night along with Max Davis. They end up 3rd and 4th. Riley Sperry to a much needed top 5 for that EKH Enterprises driver. Laura Chung had to battle back from a lot along with Matt Tuck. They both got put high at the start, dropped back. They get 6th and 7th. Jude Martinelli solid all night long. Brian Rodriguez had to recover after a mid-race slump to get back up to 9th and minimize points lost to drivers like Bryce Egan for that points lead. And Anthony Hernandez for Atlanta Motorsports steals a top 10 there at the checkered flag at the end. Jerry Chen, right behind him in 11th, will lock his way into the chase. And now we have 5 drivers locked in, and still 5 spots remaining inside the top 10 in the point standings. Eli Bright with a solid 12th place, ran well pretty much all night long. Jacob Miller, a nice backup after a top 10 at Nazareth, 13th here tonight. DeLello and Keegan Thompson round out the top 15. The big news is Gabe Willard ended up 16th. He fell back on that restart. Jack Haas ended up in 18th, which means that those 2 drivers are tied for the second wildcard spot heading into Dover. So basically, whoever finishes higher at Dover, assuming that a winner doesn't fall out, which it doesn't look like it's going to be happening, it's going to be either Jack Haas or Gabe Willard getting that second wildcard, unless someone else can win a second race like Eli Bright or Levi Jones, maybe even Anthony Hernandez in that number 35. As below the top 20, we had 26 cars finish on the lead lap. There was a good bit of damage to some guys throughout the field, and some guys were multiple laps down from that damage, like Philip Torres and Drew Webb. We obviously saw Levi Jones, Alex Sanvitale get parked by NASCAR for their issues on their cars, pitting multiple times and falling many laps down. They couldn't gain any positions at the time when they were parked. And then Crown Jr. and Angel Gutierrez both out of the race from their respective crashes here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Now a quick look at the driver points heading into the final race of the regular season. Brian Rodriguez has a 14-point advantage over Bryce Egan, 25 up on Laura Chung and 33 up on Nathan Stapleton. At the moment, it looks like it's going to be a battle between Rodriguez and Egan for that regular season title. But if things go completely haywire at Dover, maybe Laura Chung, Nathan Stapleton, the Otter Island teammates can find a way to close in. But Rodriguez has a nice points gap. He's going to try and keep it throughout Dover. As mentioned, Jerry Chen has locked his way in 5th in the point standings. And then these drivers not locked in but pretty safe, like Riley Spurleytube, Max Davis, Matt Tuck, Jude Martinelli, and Keegan Thompson. They're all still in. Martinelli breaks that tie with Thompson by 7 points. Only 19 back of the top 10 is Chris Jericho in 11th with that 3rd victory in the season. That, it's guaranteed him now a chase spot. He's in the chase no matter what happens at the Dover Speedway, so you can technically count him as locked in as well. He's guaranteed a wildcard spot with 3 victories. He can't fall outside the top 25, and even if Matt Tuck falls out, no one else can get 3 wins and pass him. So Chris Jericho is locked into a wildcard spot. The question is, does he gain those points to knock out his teammate Keegan Thompson or even Jude Martinelli? And if that happens, he'll knock out a non-winner maybe, unless Matt Tuck has a horrific night or day. If he knocks out a non-winner, then both Gabe Willard and Jack Haas could get a wildcard spot. But at the moment now, it's Gabe Willard versus Haas for that second wildcard spot, both with a victory. The only way that changes is if Levi Jones or Eli Bright can win a second race, then they'll jump in terms of the number of wins based off of Gabe Willard and Jack Haas. So it looks like at the moment it's going to be highest finisher between Gabe Willard and Jack Haas for that second wildcard spot. But we'll see if Dover throws a wrench into it. And I don't believe they can really tie unless one leads a lap and then the other doesn't. They kind of finish close together. But if there are any ties in points at the end of the regular season, this basically goes for any point in the season. Ties are broken based off number of wins first, then average finish, then number of top fives, then number of top tens, and then we go on through the rest of those. But that's how it's going to be broken. So wins first, then average finish if that's still a tie, and if that's somehow still a tie, then number of top fives, then number of top tens. So that's how it'll go heading into Dover. And now the owner standings, the team points. Vision Motorsports still holds the lead over Toussaint Racing and Otter Island Motorsports. Once again, a pretty good night for Vision Motorsports. All their cars running up inside the top 10. Toussaint, they had Jericho win, but Rodriguez struggled after getting put high. Keegan Thompson was never a factor, and obviously Otter Island had two cars run well, Laura Chung and Nathan Stapleton, but Philip Torres got some damage. So, that really just helped Vision Motorsports' case. They pulled a little bit of a gap now over the rest. So as we look at all of the owner standings, we'll start with Matthew. Final thoughts from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Jericho gets another win. In fact, both times you've been in the booth, Chris Jericho's won this race.
It's almost like coincidence. Anyways, it's nice to see Chris Jericho finally actually compete the entire race distance, basically. Multiple times throughout this season, whether it would be Richmond or Boston, I'm pretty sure it was, New Hampshire even, he just couldn't capitalize on it. And only at Michigan he was able to finally break through, then win the next race after. He now has 3 wins, same as Matt Tuck. I'm starting to see a trend with those two.
Yep, start out slow, but really come on once the chase is coming around. So are those 2 championship favorites? We'll see once we get into that 8-race chase. But Trey, let's go over to you. Let's focus on that second wildcard battle between Gabe Willard, Jack Haas, who are tied. Who are you taking at Dover to get into that chase? Gabe Willard for Southern Cross Racing, or Jack Haas to be the lone Galway Automotive car into the chase?
Oh, geez. I mean, it's Dover, Joe. We know what it's called, the Monster Mile. It's a scary place. It's kind of hard to pick one of those two. You want to go Gabe Willard because of the momentum he got beating Jack Haas here tonight, but same time, Jack Haas has never wanted to back down from a challenge, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him get the upper hand as well. But I think by the end of it, it's either going to be both cars are running and they're going to be battling it out, or both cars trashed each other and they're going to hope on something else being the reason that they move on through. But I think they're going to give it a great show either way.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch all the scenarios play out at Dover. Who's going to get the regular season title? Is someone like Keegan Thompson or Jude Martinelli or Matt Tuck, who's barely inside the top 10, have a bad enough night that they fall out and Chris Jericho can bump his way in to the top 10 even though he has a wildcard spot locked up? And who gets the second wildcard spot if Chris Jericho stays outside the top 10 in points? So all things to focus on at Dover. It'll be a fun race there from the Monster Mile next time out on JRTV. And then 2 weeks' time, we're chase racing from Rockingham. So we'll see how it goes. So next time on the concrete at Dover, the final race of the regular season. And then 2 Mondays from now, we're going racing at Rockingham to determine how the chase will kick off and see who has the momentum heading into the final 8 races. So it's all about Jericho tonight, though, in Toussaint Racing. They get victory for the 3rd time this season. Congratulations to everyone over on that team on a very well-deserved victory. For Trey Barno, Matthew Hubert, I'm Joe Rakowski. So long from the Bristol Motor Speedway.